I'm actually so glad to be finally making this video and have this video finally make it out there. And yeah, it's all of this stuff for so many years has just been going through my head, and I've just been too scared to say it because I thought it would invalidate me and my experience, and I've been too scared to say it because there is nothing harder than when I originally came out as gender fluid and I got all of the stupid questions, and it was even harder to explain than being a trans man. And so for me, in my personal experience, I decided to just take the route of coming out as a trans man. And I've just been hiding a part of myself that has been so obvious, and I've just been ignoring it. And ever since I originally came out as gender fluid, and I got all of the questions that were just so stupid, and I had people so confused about my identity, I thought it would be easiest to come out as something in the binary. Because even though, yeah, I got stupid questions, it just seemed, I don't know, it's a lot. And I realised that now that I'm just coming out and I have to come out again to everyone, I think it's important for me, even though right now I'm identifying rather masculinely and I'm feeling like a more masc version of myself, I often will shut off the version of myself that is feeling either non-binary or neutral or pangender or fluid or feminine. As soon as I feel this identity for years, I have shut it off. I've sort of, when I've been feeling this way and I've been feeling masc and feeling masculine and very solid in my identity as a trans man, I've then deleted videos of me coming out as gender fluid or speaking about being non-binary, because as soon as I'm feeling this, I'll suddenly think, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely a man, I'm definitely not gender fluid. But then when I'm feeling, when the fluidity happens, I'm then like, oh, maybe I'm not 100% identifying as a man. And then I'll go back to identifying mostly male again, and I'll be like, oh no, it's I was wrong, I'm not actually feeling that way, my identity is definitely male. And it's been a terrible vicious cycle over the last few years, and I'm just glad to be out of it. Hello there, and welcome to my gender crises. So I've been meaning to schedule in a gender crises at some point, but I've been so busy, that's why I haven't posted in like almost a month. So apologies for that, but today I basically just wanted to say I've been thinking about this for ages. Anyone who's been on the channel for a certain amount of time knows that I am often questioning things, not just to do with my gender but my expression, and I've mentioned possibly about like being non-binary in the past. And there's also been a lot of other times where I've said, no, I'm definitely binary gender, I'm definitely just like a binary trans man. Just because I like that particular way does not mean that I am non-binary. But that back and forth I've been thinking a lot about lately and why it is, and I've just had some introspection about it, and I am definitely going to say that the point in this was not really to put labels on things, but if I could give a label, I understand people want to know about that, I'd say it could be gender fluid, it could be the word like non-binary or genderqueer, but I like to call myself a genderqueer trans man or a genderqueer gender fluid trans man, whereas most of the time I'm still happy, I just, you know, call myself a trans man. I'm really chill, as I always have been, in this rest state of how I look now. I'm happy with what testosterone has done for me. I still like my facial hair, like most of the time. But there are some times where that's not the case, and therefore if I do feel at some times, it's hard to describe what it's like feeling a different gender, and I don't know if that is a feeling or if that's just expression or if that's just me thinking so deep into identity because the world makes me want to label it. I don't know specifically what that is, why that is, but I'm just going to basically say in this video, even though most of the time I identify as what I'd closely describe as a guy, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes I identify as more than just the binary identity as a man, or sometimes I feel like I could be multiple. Sometimes, sorry, I've got sniffles, feel like I could be a bit more neutral. Sometimes and not a lot on occasion, but sometimes I do feel like the opposite gender in terms of opposite gender to what I've identified as for a while now, which is a man. Sometimes I feel like I could go out one day completely looking like a girl if there would be no judgment. It's an odd one because now I go out and I sometimes get the same discrimination that trans women get, and because I've chatted to a lot of friends who are trans women who get similar stuff, because there are a lot of people who, because of how I look at the moment, and then when I put makeup on and if I wear dresses or skirts, they think that I am a mab person. In like early transition, it's usually what people think that I am like. No, I just think that people are just so judgy for no particular reason, and it's half of the reason why I didn't come out as non-binary earlier. Well, actually, the first thing I ever came out as was gender fluid, and then I came out as a demi-boy, where I felt like I leant more towards being a boy or identifying as a man, but didn't completely feel that way all of the time. And I went through a few non-binary labels before I just ended up saying, yo, I'm a trans man. And identify as a man, because for me I thought that was easier, whereas I don't know what exactly my identity is, what's going on. I just like to say that, yeah, okay, it could be demi-boy, gender fluid, gender queer, non-binary, whatever label I want to put on it, but I'm just me. And it's so much more freeing when I didn't feel the need to put a label to it and just say my gender and my sexuality are both queer, or both, you know, fluid and different, and sometimes my sexuality is even changeable in terms of preferences I have at certain points or certain seasons of sexuality and also gender, and this has been a constant throughout my life. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video saying not much is going to change with me and who I am and how I express myself. I might spend more time expressing myself, but I do want to say in this video, if you'd like to see more videos of me expressing myself, maybe experimenting with dressing up as what is seen as different genders. I understand there isn't really any type of expression that should link with gender identity, but in my case, it often is linked in how I like to express myself based on how I'm feeling. It sometimes is linked, sometimes it totally isn't. And yeah, I shouldn't have to explain away my gender each time. My pronouns haven't really changed. I still prefer he, him and stuff, but there are some times where I'm okay with all genders, especially in points where I'm feeling almost like there's more genders, if that makes any sense. Some days I'm okay with all pronouns, some days I wouldn't mind they, them, some days, but mostly I'm just happy with he, him, even if I'm dressing a certain way. That might change, and I'd probably just let people know. So before I make this video too long,
I did write a little when I was feeling frustrated and I couldn't sleep because I was having like an identity crisis, as I do like every night. I was sitting up thinking about gender and thinking about why I'm so frustrated to talk about it. At the time it was like 3 a.m, so I thought this poem was like super deep and edgy and like had loads of meaning, but I kind of read it now and it's a bit cringe. So allow my poetry / short writing cringe, but I'll just read it out to you now. So this is my poem about identity. Do I want to be them or be with them? It's a question I often ask myself, scrolling through the internet in a late night haze of an identity crisis. And the answer is, it's probably both. I often feel like I am every single gender, sexuality and personality all in one form. I mould myself to the world around me, but try not let it mould me in return. I could fathom some words you may understand, non-binary, a trans man, gender fluid, but the reality is I am simply me. As cliched as it sounds, it's the only truth that comforts my searching mind. Letting it rest a little, hugged by 4 walls and warmed by the amber glow of fairy lights in my quiet room. But it doesn't last long. The quiet begins to ripple, only to be shattered by the world and the people in it. And just like that, I feel the tug again. The looming darkness of the endless nothing. The infinite mass at the centre of it all. I kick my legs to stop from spiralling into it, but then just as quickly, the euphoria dissipates, and I'm back to searching for a label I'm never going to find, to fit into a world that doesn't want me anyway. And so here is my message to that world. I'm not fighting it anymore. I will be myself and nothing else, immune to the gravity of the temptation to please, to fit in, to know exactly who I am and what I'm doing or what I want to be, or the need to let you know about it, so that you can feel a little more comfortable. I know there are many that may try to stop me, hurt us, but there is nothing more powerful than the strength to be yourself, even if you don't know who that is yet. It's like this: a galaxy of stars laid out across our consciences, tugged and twisted by a finite point of endless mass that wants it all to collapse together, to be one or the other, like time only moving forward, never back. But there are more connections in our minds than stars in our universe, and like the universe, our minds are realms of infinite possibilities, so let yourself be free to explore them. And this is my letter to you. Whoever you may be, struggling like we all are, stay with me. And that is my little sort of short piece of writing about how I was feeling, that endless tug into some sort of black hole of having to find some sort of label or some sort of explanation as to why I feel this way to fit in. But in reality, I just want to be me. And even though, yes, I've only been, every single night I go out, I have people calling me, you know, faggot, whatever they want to call me, tranny, whatever weird little slur. Or you know, a few nights ago I had people spit on me when I was wearing makeup. These, and when I'm expressing myself more than just in a sort of basic low-grade expression way, when I'm like not really being too out there with my expression, I sometimes don't get it, but most of the time I am wearing makeup, and most of the time I do have people say stuff to me or harass me in a particular way. And yeah, that sucks, but it is the way the world is, and I think if I choose to decide to express myself a bit more, then maybe people will get used to it and it will be better for other people out there. So sorry for that very long bit of poetry. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some makeup. I've got a wig. I'm going to do how I'd like to look if I was expressing myself as. There is a sort of gender neutral or gender ambiguous version of myself I have in my head. I've already done that in previous videos, so I made a video doing some masculine contour showing you how to do that, and then I put makeup on. I will put the clip of me absolutely feeling myself in my best androgynous self up here now. but I absolutely love that, and the only difference is that I haven't actually tried to do a, you know, long hair expressing as feminine as I can do. I haven't done that in a while because I did, like, you know, it must have been a year or two ago, I dressed up in my prom as my previous self, but dressing up as my girl self. And I haven't done it since then, and I really wanted to try. I've bought some skirts, I've got some other things that I really want to try on and see how I feel in them, and just gonna go downstairs after I've done my makeup with my friends, and we're gonna take some videos of the looks and try on some outfits that are a bit more androgynous and or feminine. If you guys want to see my makeup looks that I'm going to do, I will show a tiny bit here, but I can do actual tutorials in the future. This video is already long enough as it is. So, I have not opened this yet. I'm gonna open it right now, and it is my wig. So I'll show you the kind of hairstyle that I wanted, that I ordered ages ago, and I've had this wig just sitting in my like cupboard for ages and ages and ages. You can see at the top actually the way that it's done looks really nice, and it's sort of like blue at the ends and curly, and anyway it looks lush. I feel like I'm being burst. Oh my god. Honestly, my mullet is coming out the back of this wig cap, but it doesn't matter. Let's just do my makeup and I'll see you after that. So I decided I'm actually going to show you guys a bit better of a makeup tutorial in this video, and I can do a more in-depth one in the next video, so I'm going to quickly go through some steps as to how I'm going to feminize my face a bit. Usually I do masculinizing contour, which squares out the jaw, but this time I'm going to be more feminine with it. So I get makeup in the inner corner here, like a concealer. I do this just to elongate the face up that way, then tip of the nose, down the length of the nose, above the lip, and a little bit down here. Even though I've got facial hair, I don't want to shave because when I'm not in this makeup, and a little bit up there as well. You want to draw the eye to the center of the face and also elongate the eyes. Just using this, blend it out. Brushing my eye. I'm actually going to put a little bit under here going out up that way for when I add the makeup later and I want it to look a bit more snatched. This video is going to be a long one, but it also can be for people who are like me, people who've been out mostly as you know, trans men and are wanting to either just express themselves differently or want to go back into thinking about identity, or for trans women who are trying to work out how to do feminizing makeup. Usually I do masculinizing contour, where the eyes I'll do feminine, but the face I'll do masculine contour. However, that doesn't have to be the case. I will show you now how you can do it differently. Now the face is going to look a bit flat. I have this, what's it called? It's called Sosu. It's from, you can't really see it. It's called Sosu. I just got it from Beauty Bay online. A cool shade contouring stick. And I'm going to start up here. Usually I drag across, but this time I'm starting up here. And I'm going to bring it sort of down. Usually I'll draw here and I'll draw sort of a masculine shape that will make it look like I've got those lines down the side, but I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm just going to use a blending brush here to blend that out. That just lifts the ridge of the cheekbone. Simply makes it look like you have more cheekbone. Okay, I'm going to grab a brush like this, just a little bit on the top, and I am going to make my nose smaller. So I've just made my nose look a bit more structured. The walls in smaller and smaller of the side of the nose. And sometimes I just put a little bit in there. And also I reshape bits of the eye, sort of like make it look like there is a nice elongated shape to the eye. So now I'm going to do the eyebrows. I can show a video of that in the future. I'm just going to do a simple sort of like elfy look. have done some makeup. I'm just trying to find lashes. These will do. My look went way more dramatic than I expected it to be. Yep, that happened. Whereas my glasses, I can't see anything. I've lost my glasses. Now that I've taken them off, I don't think I'll ever find them again. I'm just going to do like a simple nude lip. Even though I've got quite big lips, I make my lips bigger. You just want to make sure your lips join at the corners. I'm going to get this deeper shade pen, elongate the smile of my lips. This is the general makeup look. I'm about to pop some lashes on and I will come back with lashes to put my wig on and try the clothes on. So I've put some clothes on and I've got a skirt on, but I will show you in a moment properly. Setting spray. So this is my finished look and let's put the wig on. Okay, I'm really gonna try and bring this forward a tiny bit. Let me just go away and adjust this. Yeah, I can show you me more full body. I'll have to move the camera and my room is a mess right now, so I have no place to put it. I do realise that I have just dressed myself up as my type. I've literally...
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what happened. Wow. Okay. I was just looking like, I recognise this girl. I know who she is. Oh my god.
Oh god, am I gonna hold the camera? You know I'm like prone to just coughing randomly at the moment.
It's fine. It's fine. She doesn't get sick. I'm glad that was filming. Is a red dot on there?
Yes.
Okay. This me doesn't get ill. She's immune to everything, including the haters. Yes, so this is the look. Maybe do a cheeky pan down.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, the twirl. Oh my god.
You've still got a tag hanging out the back.
Yeah,
right?
just we ignore it. Where is it? Which tag? Where?
Big ass tag hanging out the back of the skirt.
Oh, at the back of the skirt. Oh yeah, okay. We can just pretend she doesn't exist because I like this skirt. Okay, that's cool. Just have gender crises more often, I look great. So this is the completed look with the hat. Without the hat you can see that it just like, it's a bit shiny on top, it's not too bad. But you get what I mean.
I love it. I wish I had hair like that.
I'm gonna get more wigs. I'm just gonna check, sorry, in the mirror. You can video me strutting away into darkness.
Ooh.
Where I belong. I don't really know what to say. I might just get some photos now. This is the whole look. I've got these boots as well. These are Kat's, my housemate. You don't have to, yeah. You've seen her in other videos. And I got a cute little heart suspender thing. In the future, I think I'm going to shave my legs and just live my best life. Best mask femme whatever life. I'm going to be everything and I'm going to say... Oh no, is YouTube gonna... Yeah, YouTube's definitely gonna demonetize me, but it's fine, I'll blur this out. No, it won't. This bitch doesn't care. I'm gonna do get a few photos now. I'll have to... Am I paying you guys? Do I have to pay you guys? Is it £5 per minute?
It's gingerbread cookies.
Okay, I will make them. Should I make them now?
No.
Should I put my maid outfit on? You know you love it, don't lie to me. Silence. Well, thanks for watching the video. Please click the like button and subscribe if you want to see me having more identity crises in the future. This is the new me. What shall we name her? Put that in the comments down below. Anyway, bye-bye. So I have just had an actual night out. I'm putting it in this video because I had a lot of thoughts. I went out for a few hours, got some drinks, danced with some people. I danced with new people I'd never met before. I came out to them as genderqueer, genderfluid, gender whatever. I told them and it felt very freeing. And a lot of people asked for my pronouns, and I said whatever is fine. I definitely realised that I'm multiple genders. Sometimes I did bump into someone who likes more mask guys, and I definitely felt the need to be mask Toby, like me when I'm mask. And then also I bumped into other people who would have probably preferred me if I was more femme without any facial hair like I have at the moment. And for the first time, which is not very usual, I felt dysphoric about having facial hair. Like, I felt the need to shave, and usually I love my facial hair. I really like how it looks on me when I'm feeling mask. And tonight, wearing this, it was the first night that I actually didn't like that. And honestly, that is a first for me. The one thing I've loved about my transition is getting the facial hair and feeling euphoric because I have facial hair, and it helps me pass and it helps me feel more mask. And I speak to a lot of girls, and I'm still very, no matter what gender I'm feeling, I am always very pansexual or bisexual. And I count bisexual being same gender and other genders. And so that never changes, like, ever. I'm very bisexual no matter how I'm feeling in my own gender. But the difference was that I saw people, and the only difference is that, yeah, I felt dysphoric having facial hair, which is, it's odd, it's interesting. I've never felt that way before. So this is something I'm going to have to explore more. I really like how I look like this with this hair. It's definitely the kind of hair that I feel like I would have. I feel like this is how I would have looked, if that makes any sense. However, I'm happy to be Toby most of the time, but now I've dressed like this, I'm going to have to dress like this again, because it's opened a lot up for me in the way that I identify, and I'm quite excited to go off of testosterone to be able to look mask and femme and sort of be in that androgynous point. But the other night out, I went out with my hair as it usually is. I'll put a photo up here. But I went out with just eyeliner, and that, I even felt way more confident than I usually do. But sometimes I want to look super mask, and if I'm out with a girl, sometimes that's just what works for me. Okay, I know I said the end of the video was a minute ago, but this is the actual end of the video. I'm going to take some photos now that I've come back from an actual night out, meeting new people. I've come out to random people. I decided tonight to come out to random people with different pronouns and test them out. I understand it's scary trying new stuff out, but just do it. I'm so happy that I tried this out. I'm going to buy more wigs. I'm going to try even though I like this short style, I'm going to try a super long wig. I'm going to try shorter wigs. I'm going to try loads of stuff. I have a brown wig at home. And I'm just so happy I've done this. I'm about to make a few posts on Instagram and do an Instagram live stream, so follow me over there. And but yeah, I'm actually feeling very gender euphoric right now. The fact that I'm trying not to get emotional. I get emotional now that I'm off testosterone, and I just filmed my 1 month on testosterone video a few weeks ago, so I will be posting that eventually. But I actually get emotional more now, and I've been able to process a lot of emotions I pushed down when I went on testosterone, and I will speak about this in my 2 months on off of T video. But there's a lot of things I got to process about my identity and my emotions now that I've gone off of testosterone. Because I feel this way in my identity, I know I've spoken a lot on my channel about, let me just take this off. Hi. I know I have spoken a lot on my channel about the fact that I'm a trans man and I wear makeup not being a big issue. I understand. I have said that in videos in the past, and it makes a lot of things harder now that I've come out as genderfluid, or, you know, genderqueer in general. Because I still want to say that everyone who is a trans man who is feeling like they want to wear makeup or they want to express themselves, even like this, even with a full wig moment, even if they want to express themselves like this. Also, I have been wearing out this cross the body leather bag and my housemate's lovely stripy socks and these boots, and this is honestly the outfit that I want to wear forever. I just want to say, no matter how you're feeling with your identity, you should be able to express yourself however you want. If you 100% identify as a man, it doesn't matter if you want to wear this. Look, sometimes I want to wear this and I still want people to see me as a guy. Or like, you know, the full makeup looks. Sometimes I want to wear this and I want people to see me as a girl. Sometimes I bump into people and they'll make me want to express myself a different way depending on how I'm attracted to them, whether I want to be more masculine or feminine around them, around myself. It does not matter how you want to express yourself, no matter your identity. It shouldn't correlate, and I want to help mould a world in which it doesn't correlate. I want to help mould a world in which me going out like this with facial hair and makeup and a wig doesn't mean anything spectacular. It just means that I am happy, I'm expressing myself how I want to be, and I'm hoping the world can be the same as you as well. I want to make videos more about my identity and the difference between me now, me when I'm masked, me when I'm feeling gender neutral. I also kind of feel a bit, right now, it is very odd, but I feel like I identify as all genders. That might not make sense to you, but I definitely feel like I identify as almost everything most of the time, and it's annoying that I can't click my fingers and be one or the other. I've either got to be wearing all of this, or I've got to be looking neutral, or I've got to be, you know, looking mask, and I wish I could click my fingers and be all of them and like have a quick outfit change. Unfortunately, that is not how it goes. But yeah, I'm glad I've had this late night conversation with you guys. I am very sorry it's such a long video. And now that I'm dressed like this, I think I should read my poem one more time. And maybe it'll hit a little different, and I know it certainly did when I just read it. I know it's a bit cringe, but someone I was just chatting to, they said the reason why I thought it was cringe is maybe because it showed so much vulnerability about how I actually feel. And so I will read it one more time, now that I am expressing myself like this. We're everything but ourselves until we accept that there is nothing we need to be. Do I want to be them or be with them? Is a question I often ask myself, scrolling through the internet in a late night haze of an identity crisis. And the answer is, it's probably both. I often feel like I'm every single gender, sexuality and personality all in one form. I mould myself to the world around me, but try not let it mould me in return. I could fathom some words you may understand. Non-binary, a trans man, genderfluid. But the reality is I am simply me. As cliched as it sounds, it's the only truth that comforts my searching mind, letting it rest a little, hugged by the four walls and warmed by the amber glow of fairy lights in my quiet room. But it doesn't last long. The quiet begins to ripple, only to be shattered by the world and the people in it, and just like that I feel the tug again. The looming darkness of the endless nothing, the infinite mass at the centre of it all. I kick my legs to stop from spiralling into it, but then just as quickly, the euphoria dissipates and I'm back to searching for a label I'm never going to find, to fit into a world that doesn't want me anyway. And so here is my message to that world. I'm not fighting anymore. I will be myself and nothing else, immune to the gravity of the temptation to please, to fit in, to know exactly who I am and what I'm doing or what I want to be, or the need to let you know about it so you may feel more comfortable. I know there are many that may try to stop me, hurt us. But there is nothing more powerful than the strength to be yourself, even if you don't know who that is yet. It's like this. A galaxy of stars laid out across our consciences, tugged and twisted by a finite point of endless mass that wants it all to collapse together, to be one or the other, like time, only moving forward, never back. but there are more connections in our minds than stars in our universe. And like the universe, our minds are realms of infinite possibilities. So let yourself be free to explore them. And I cannot stress enough, this is my letter to you, whoever you may be, however you may be searching, or if you're feeling like I am. Please, stay with me. Because you are loved, you have a community, and we are here for you. And I just want you to, I'm trying not to get emotional. This is me off of testosterone crying at the tiniest anything. But thank you for being part of my community. And this is the video. Okay, so I've had a shower, so just ignore how I look right now. I'm back into my basic, usual sort of rest state is how I call it with my gender. Yes, it does for me, it correlates with my expression a little bit, but it shouldn't obviously be that for other people. But I put that together, and that really helped me look at things. And there's a lot of beauty behind fluidity and gender and sexuality and who I am, and the feeling that it's like okay, the feeling that it's okay to change how you feel or to realise how you feel or whatever. I just needed to sort of video this end bit while I'm still having these thoughts and feelings and thinking about this being another big step in my life. The first step coming out as a bisexual person back in the day when I was a teenager, then coming out as a lesbian, then coming out as a non-binary person, then coming out as a trans man, then going through that, having surgeries, doing all this stuff which still saved my life, honestly. Going on testosterone, having top surgery saved my life for sure. And then getting to this point now where I'm not only, living my best queer life as in sexuality wise, I'm now kind of living my best genderqueer life. And it's just very freeing knowing that. And tonight, I did my makeup a bit and sort of faffed about until about midnight. And then I went out. And the reason why I did that is because I just wanted to experiment with things. So I had there are a few people who asked for my pronouns, and I tested a few different pronouns out with different people. I came out to people when they asked me about myself and like what I identify as. I said genderfluid. Some people I just said non-binary to. Some people I said genderqueer. I tested out a few different labels, a few different pronouns, found out that I was kind of okay with all pronouns but leaning more towards they and she on this particular evening. Now I'm happy with with all pronouns right now, and maybe tomorrow I'll be just wanting he, him. That's the fun of it. I mean, that's the point of it, I guess, with fluidity. It changes how I want to express myself and how I want society to see me, and it's just exciting. It's exciting going off testosterone, and so even though this is going to be my usual normal state, something has been bubbling in me for a while, and I'm glad that it's finally come to the surface and I've said it out loud. And I came out to as many people tonight as I could, just to get it out and to test it out to people that I don't know. It was very freeing just being able to test that coming out and test if those words coming out my mouth felt right, and they definitely did. So yeah, I know it's right at the end of the video, and I mentioned it earlier, I don't want people to make it a big deal and be like, oh my god, this is so crazy, or, you know, it's nothing has really changed. I'm just discovering things about myself, so there's nothing like particularly new or changed or whatever. This is gonna be probably a rather long video, but I guess it's a big thing, so it's okay that it's that long of a video. I've got a counselling / therapy session later that I can talk about this kind of stuff to her, to my counsellor, and I'm super excited about that. Just to get it all out, even though I've already got it all out on video. And yeah, if everyone can let me know in the comments down below what, if you have ever felt a similar way, and what kind of videos you would like me to do based on this kind of genderqueer identity. So I'm gonna go get some water, hydrate, and then get some rest, and I'm just feeling happy. It's very freeing. Okay, I'll speak to you soon.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching my long, rambly video. My mic just died, so it's not attached to the camera, so it's a pretty shit audio at the moment. But I wanted to end this video sort of back in my more masc gender feels. And so even though I kind of identify a lot with both male and female and non-binary and, you know, all the genders out there a lot of the time, like for example when I'm in my masc feel, I like the fact I have facial hair. I really like my mullet at the moment, and my facial hair and like sort of my facial shape and how that looks and everything, and also like my hairline and all that stuff. I really don't mind it too much when I'm in a slightly more masc mood. However, when I am feeling definitely more femme, or when I'm at least leaning into my femme identity that I kind of feel all of the time, when I've decided to lean into it and express myself that particular way, I then end up feeling dysphoric about facial hair, and I might shave my facial hair and just see how I feel, whether I feel more comfortable in when I'm dressing femininely and expressing the feminine side of at least my gender expression, without facial hair, and see if I feel better that way. But then I might also feel too dysphoric without facial hair all the time. But I think in a few days I'm going to shave it off, and I think I'm going to make a video about it. And I just wanted to put this in the end of the video here just to say, you know, I still most of the time am feeling like what you call like a trans man. It's a difficult one because this is just sort of how I'm usually expressing myself, and I was tempted to grow all of my hair out, even though I like the mullet look and the shorter look. Even when I put makeup on, it still is sort of a cute in-between hairstyle. But I was also thinking of growing my actual natural hair to about here, and having hair like that, but it's just a difficult one for me to choose. Also, I wanted to say at the end of this video, obviously despite that, I know at the moment I'm feeling quite happy with the name Call Me Laddie as my channel, but because I'm now out, at least to a few people, and now to you, as this is the end of the video, I'm out as genderqueer, genderfluid, pangender, trans man. Obviously I said I don't need the labels, but those are a few that I can sort of throw at it if I'm going to actually use any labels. But now that I'm out as that, I feel like Call Me Laddie as a name isn't really the channel name that I want. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of names you think would be quite good for that, and I will have a look and make a list, and hopefully we can come to a channel name that, yeah, makes sense. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think, whether it should be going between Call Me Laddie, Call Me Lady, you know, or whether I should completely change up the name, or whether I should just put it as my actual name. It's a difficult one, but have fun in the comments letting me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, because there is a lot that I need to update you on how I'm feeling and expressing myself and experimenting, and it should be a fun journey, as well as me showing you my going off of testosterone journey as well, because I went off of that for health reasons, and I'm going to be updating you guys monthly or every other month about my progress with that. So I hope you enjoyed that series. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.